In world we're living, apparently dominated by science, do you know who is the father of scientific thinking? His name is Francis Bacon, and his ideas have shaped modern science, steering us away from old ways of thinking and towards a methodical approach that has driven countless discoveries. But who was Francis Bacon, and what were the revolutionary ideas that changed everything? Francis Bacon, often hailed as the father of empiricism, played a pivotal role in the development of the scientific method, a framework that still underpins scientific inquiry. His contributions weren't just limited to science. His thoughts on human understanding, reasoning, and society's potential for progress have had a lasting impact on philosophy and beyond. In this video, we'll explore Bacon's top 5 groundbreaking ideas that continue to influence our world. From his method of inductive reasoning to his intriguing idols of the mind, and even his utopian vision of a science-driven society, Bacon's legacy is as fascinating as it is profound. But why did these ideas resonate so strongly? And how did they manage to endure through centuries of change? Let's dive in and discover the mind behind the method. Francis Bacon was born in 1561 into a prominent English family, surrounded by the political and intellectual elite of his time. From a young age, he was exposed to the workings of the court and the intricacies of law and governance, thanks to his father, Sir Nicholas Bacon, who was Lord Keeper of the Great Seal. But despite this privileged upbringing, Bacon's journey was anything but straightforward. As a young man, Bacon's ambition was clear. He wanted to serve his country and advance in the ranks of government. However, his early career was marred by a series of setbacks. After studying at Cambridge and working briefly as a diplomat in France, Bacon returned to England, only to find himself in financial difficulties. His attempts to secure a stable position at court were repeatedly thwarted, leaving him frustrated and disillusioned. It was during these challenging years that Bacon began to redirect his energies toward philosophy and science. Unable to find the success he sought in politics, he turned to the world of ideas. Determined to reform the way knowledge was pursued, Bacon believed that the intellectual methods of his time were deeply flawed, relying too heavily on tradition and untested theories. These early struggles were instrumental in shaping Bacon's vision of a new approach to knowledge. He envisioned a method based on observation, experimentation, and inductive reasoning, a stark contrast to the scholastic traditions that dominated the academic world. Bacon's personal challenges, rather than hindering him, fueled his resolve to revolutionize the pursuit of knowledge. Bacon emerged not just as a politician, but as a philosopher with a mission. His ideas would soon challenge the very foundations of how people understood the world around them. But what exactly were these ideas, and how did they lay the groundwork for the scientific method we rely on today? One of Bacon's most significant contributions to the world of ideas was his strong advocacy for empiricism, the belief that knowledge comes primarily from sensory experience. In an era where knowledge was often derived from abstract reasoning and untested theories, Bacon's insistence on observation and experimentation was nothing short of revolutionary. He argued that true understanding of the world could only be achieved by engaging directly with it, by gathering data and letting the evidence guide our conclusions. Building on his belief in empiricism, Bacon laid the groundwork for what we now call the scientific method. He proposed a systematic approach to inquiry that emphasized careful observation, rigorous experimentation, and the use of inductive reasoning. Unlike the deductive reasoning that had dominated intellectual thought for centuries, where one starts with a general theory and works towards specific conclusions, inductive reasoning begins with specific observations and builds up to general theories. This shift was profound, as it encouraged scientists to form hypotheses and test them against the real world, rather than relying solely on established doctrine.
Is Bacon's inductive method truly the key to scientific progress, or does it risk stifling innovation by forcing us to rely solely on observation, limiting the role of theorization and creativity in scientific discovery?
The impact of Bacon's ideas on the development of science cannot be overstated. His approach laid the foundation for modern scientific practices, influencing figures like Isaac Newton and later generations of scientists. By promoting a method that was both empirical and inductive, Bacon effectively opened the door to a new era of discovery, one that continues to shape our understanding of the universe today. But Bacon didn't stop at method alone. He also recognized that even the best methods could be undermined by the flaws in human thinking. This led him to develop one of his most intriguing concepts, the idols of the mind, which we'll explore next. Francis Bacon recognized that even the most rigorous methods could be sabotaged by the inherent flaws in human thinking. He identified these flaws as idols of the mind, a metaphorical concept representing the various biases and errors that cloud our judgment and hinder our ability to perceive the truth. According to Bacon, these idols were the greatest obstacles to the advancement of knowledge. Bacon categorized these mental biases into 4 distinct types. 1. Idols of the tribe. These are the natural tendencies of human nature that lead us to perceive things subjectively. Bacon believed that all humans are prone to certain errors simply because of the way our minds are wired. For example, we tend to see patterns where none exist, or to overemphasize our personal experiences. 2. Idols of the cave. This category refers to the biases that arise from our individual experiences, education, and personal backgrounds. Each person's cave, or private world, shapes their perspective, often leading to narrow or distorted views of reality. 3. Idols of the marketplace. These biases stem from language and communication. Bacon observed that words often fail to accurately represent reality, leading to misunderstandings and confusion. The way we talk about things can shape, and sometimes distort, the way we think about them. 4. Idols of the theater. These are the misconceptions that come from adherence to dogmas or philosophies, which Bacon likened to theatrical performances, artificial constructs that present an illusion of reality. He warned against blindly accepting established systems of thought without questioning their validity. Bacon's identification of these idols was groundbreaking because it acknowledged that the pursuit of knowledge isn't just about acquiring facts. It's also about overcoming the psychological barriers that prevent us from seeing the world as it truly is. These ideas were a call to intellectual humility and a reminder that even the most rational minds are not immune to error. By understanding and confronting these idols, Bacon believed that we could clear the path for true scientific progress. This idea of a purified, unbiased pursuit of knowledge ties directly into his vision of a utopian society driven by scientific inquiry, which he explored in his work, The New Atlantis. In his later years, Francis Bacon turned his attention to imagining what a society could look like if it were built entirely around the pursuit of knowledge. This vision took shape in his unfinished work, The New Atlantis, a philosophical and fictional account of a utopian society founded on scientific inquiry and discovery. Through this work, Bacon not only articulated his hopes for the future of science, but also laid out a blueprint for a society where knowledge and innovation were the highest virtues. The story of the New Atlantis is set on the fictional island of Bensalem, a place where the inhabitants dedicate themselves to the advancement of knowledge and the betterment of society through scientific research. The central institution on this island is Salomon's House, also known as the College of the 6 Days Works, which Bacon describes as the very heart of scientific research. Here, scholars conduct experiments, gather knowledge from around the world, and apply their findings to improve the lives of the island's citizens. Bensalem is depicted as a place where science is not just a means to an end, but the very foundation of society. The island's leaders understand that true progress comes from understanding the natural world and using that knowledge to create new technologies and improve human life. In many ways, the New Atlantis represents Bacon's ideal vision of what the world could become if it embraced the scientific method and placed the pursuit of knowledge above all else. Though the New Atlantis was never completed, its influence has been profound. The work inspired future generations of scientists, philosophers, and utopians who saw in Bacon's vision a model for a society where intellectual inquiry is the highest calling. In the centuries that followed, the idea of a research institution dedicated to the systematic study of the world, much like Salomon's House, became a reality, influencing the development of modern scientific academies and research institutions. The New Atlantis serves as a testament to Bacon's belief in the transformative power of science and knowledge. However, like all visions, it was not without its critics. As we move to the conclusion, we'll explore some of the criticisms of Bacon's philosophy and the ongoing debate about his legacy. Francis Bacon's influence on the modern world is undeniable. Through his advocacy of empiricism, the development of the scientific method, and his visionary ideas about the role of science in society, Bacon laid the groundwork for centuries of scientific progress. His insistence on observation, experimentation, and inductive reasoning revolutionized the way we approach knowledge, leading to countless discoveries and advancements that have shaped the world as we know it. However, Bacon's philosophy has not been without its critics. Some argue that his emphasis on empirical observation and inductive reasoning, while groundbreaking, also had its limitations. For instance, Bacon's method can sometimes overlook the importance of deductive reasoning, which plays a crucial role in certain areas of scientific inquiry. Others have pointed out that Bacon's vision of a science-driven society, as depicted in The New Atlantis, raises ethical questions about the potential for science to be misused or to overshadow other important aspects of human life, such as art, culture, and spirituality. The debate over Bacon's legacy continues to this day. Some view him as a hero of modern thought, a pioneer who paved the way for the scientific revolution. Others caution against an uncritical embrace of his ideas, arguing that the pursuit of knowledge must always be balanced with ethical considerations and a respect for the broader context of human experience. In the end, Francis Bacon's ideas remain as relevant and thought-provoking as ever. They challenge us to think critically about how we acquire knowledge, how we use it, and what kind of world we want to build with it. Whether you see him as a visionary or a controversial figure, there's no denying that Bacon's contributions continue to shape our understanding of the world and our place within it. If you found this exploration of Francis Bacon's ideas fascinating, don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the lives and thoughts of history's most influential figures.